Nice and simple. I'm gonna lift up onto my knees. I find that this position is a great way to start working towards your split. We're gonna pull in with the stomach and push slightly under with that pelvis so you start to feel a nice release through the front part of your hip. You just start to move forward very slightly, keeping the neck long. If you need extra cushion under your knees, that's fine. You shouldn't feel the floor here underneath your mat. And we're just gonna come down a little bit more deeply as that hip starts to release. And remember that splits are something you can work towards over time. Even if you don't have it overnight, that's okay. We're gonna come down a little more deeply, still pulling in with the stomach. And you wanna keep this heel on the front foot down. This is getting into be a slightly deeper stretch, so take your time. If it doesn't feel right for you to have your hips down this low at the beginning, that's okay. Just take a nice pulse and move down with what feels right for your body. In with that stomach. Mostly what I'm feeling here is this great release through the front part of my hip and a little bit through my quad. I find that if I shift a bit from right to left, I get different parts of the hip and the leg that are starting to open up and lengthen. And then I'm gonna bend that back knee in. This feels amazing for releasing through your knee, the front of the quad, and that entire hip and muscle all through here on the right side. If you need a little extra room, you can walk this foot forward a bit more and then just come back down. And if you're not able to bring the foot in all the way with your hand, it's okay to just lift it up. You're still gonna feel a great stretch. Release here and take a breath. I'm gonna drop the foot, push back, and open up through our hamstring. I want you to just drop down towards that front leg. You can take a slight pulse. Pulse is always a great technique when you're stretching because it helps you deepen in to the stretch. You're gonna increase your range of motion over time. So just drop down a bit more, really melt into it. Release that breath. You can open the hips a bit, pivot from side to side, and then just come back straight. I'm gonna sit up again, release the muscle a little, pull back, and flex the foot. Flexing the foot is gonna help me stretch through my calf as well. Okay, we're gonna sit up and you're gonna start to walk your way down into a split. If you're not able to get all the way down, that's okay. Just find what works for you. So I'm gonna slide my front foot forward and I'm gonna start working towards lifting up my back knee. If you're modifying, this is a great way to go about it by keeping one knee down as you just sort of slide down and extend into that full split. So you can move around and see what feels comfortable for you. This side is a little tighter for me. I'm actually more open on the right than on the left. And that's normal, I think, to find that you have more flexibility and a bigger range of motion on one side than on the other. You can come forward, drop that head, and really just relax into it. Flex the foot. I'm moving from side to side. You might notice that I'm rocking quite a bit. I find that moving around, you don't have to keep your hips perfectly square, but that's gonna also help you open up and increase your flexibility over time. You're gonna push down, open through the chest and the shoulders. I'm just readjusting my hips a bit here. And melt into it. Really relax, take a moment. We're gonna sit here, then we're gonna come up and work on the other side. Okay, bend that knee in. This is actually a great time to work on your pigeon stretch for the back of the hip. So I'm just gonna square off, back knee super straight, lift up and open. Releasing through the back part of your hip is gonna help you out when we go to our center splits. Good. I'm bringing that back knee in and just take a nice release. And do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna put her up and open, come back up onto your knees. In with the stomach, we'll take that kneeling position and a slight tilt with the pelvis as we start to open up through the hip flexor and the quad. I'm pulling in with my stomach and I'm just pushing slightly forward. So you don't want to arch the back. You actually don't have to come that far forward to start with. This is an amazing release for your hip. Feels great. Okay, we're gonna come down a little bit deeper into this stretch. If you need to walk your foot out, that's okay too. And I'm just getting a bit more open through the front part of my hip. I'm pulling in with the stomach and just starting to really relax into that. I'm shifting a little bit so I get a nice stretch through all the parts of my hip and thigh. And just hold here. You can bend that knee, pull it in with the hand if you're able to. Keep pulling in with the stomach and try to stay as relaxed as possible through the upper body. Remember, this is a stretch, so it's all about releasing through your muscles, not getting tense. Good. Okay, we're gonna push back and start to work on releasing that hamstring. So you're gonna pull in, knees super straight, and just lower down. Relax towards that kneecap. And just use your breath to kind of deepen into that stretch. I'm gonna flex the foot, lower the head, a nice exhale. We're gonna sit up and start working our way into a split. So I'm keeping my back knee down and I'm gonna inch my front foot forward. You can start to push forward with your hips, and then what you wanna do is basically stretch the front knee. If this is as far as you're able to get, that's okay. It's still a great stretch. If you're able to, just slide that front foot forward and lower down into a fuller split onto the mat. I'm gonna sit up nice and high, in with the stomach, and open the chest. Again, I'm gonna shift from side to side a bit, find what feels comfortable, and just work on opening up through my hips. You can also push down and back with the chest, pulling in with the stomach, and then I'm gonna come forward and increase that stretch. So just relaxing forward. You can reach towards the toes. And if you have some extra time, you can just hang out here. So use your breath and really, really release. I'm gonna sit up, push back, open through the chest. And then I wanna bend the front knee in for a nice pigeon stretch, which is so great for the back of the hips. Nice 90-degree angle here, knee to your toe, back leg super straight, and just roll down. This is also a great stretch for working towards your center splits. We'll sit up, port a bra back. Bring those knees together. And you want to just take, because we've been opening the hips so much, I find it's really nice to bring the knees in and just back and forth, relax through those hips. Good. Okay, we're gonna sit up, take a little frog. So nice and high, you wanna bring your heels together, your toes together. You may not be able to get your knees all the way down, and that's okay. Sit up nice and high, just lean forward. Gentle pulse. You can also push down slightly with the knees. This is an amazing stretch for the outside of your hips. We'll come up. One last stretch for the hamstrings. Flex each foot. Really relax. Both sides. Lower down. Point the toes. And just vertebra up and open. Thanks so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see you at the next one.